presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are South.
It's been a season of firsts for the Atlanta Braves, kicked off by the grand opening of their first-rate ballpark. SunTrust Park has seen first hits, first homers, first wins, and first defeats, too. SunTrust Park's first season comes to a close today, and it sure has been a wild ride. So here we go, the first pitch. In front back, track, no! There's the first homer. The Braves open SunTrust Park with a win. And a fly ball! Braves win! And Kurt hammers it down the line. Here comes Dansby around third. Conforto double clutches, and the Braves hang on in the ninth. Madcap with an opposite field homer wins it for the Braves in the 11th. Line drive center field, base hit. Bouncing ball up the middle. It's a base hit. The Braves walk off again. Swing and a drive. Deep toward left. The ball is out of here. Good call, Joe. Two parties going on. And SunTrust hosts its final party today as the Braves wrap up a memorable first season in their new home. Well, friends, it's hard to believe we are in game number 81 at SunTrust Park, the final home game in 2017. The old saying certainly applies, fellas. Time flies when you're having fun. It's been a disappointing year record-wise, but a fun and exciting year for the Braves in September and looking ahead to 2018.
And you know what? Every team that's come in here, we talk to people, talk to players, managers, broadcasters. Everybody loves SunTrust Park. Those that have come back for a second or third time continue to rave about it and what a spectacular place it is, not only for the players, but for the fans as well.
Yeah, I think it's a ballpark that certainly has had an exciting year, a fun year, lots of fun wins certainly in the ballpark, and I think a great experience for everybody overall, and just leaves everybody excited about next year and what this team is going to have, and certainly the experiences here at the ballpark.
So we wrap up our series with the Phillies. Hopefully we'll sweep Philadelphia. Remember, the Braves swept the Padres way back in the early days of this 2017 season. The home finale gets underway with Luis Gohara on the mound for the Braves. We'll get to first pitch and lineups after the break. Pretty day on Sunday, the 24th of September, final home game of the year in the Braves' inaugural season at SunTrust Park. A chance for Atlanta to sweep away the Philadelphia Phillies. Braves won 7-2 on Friday. They won 4-2 last night. Today they'll send Luis Gohara to the mound, try to sweep away the Phillies and run the Braves' record to 7-12 against Philadelphia this year, and a potential
5-game head-to-head win streak. Pete Maccannon's Phillies 61-94 on the year. Look this way on their lineup card. No Freddie Galvis at shortstop today. J.P. Crawford will get the start there. Cesar Hernandez back in the lineup at second. Altair, Williams, Hoskins, and Joseph pretty salty 2 through 4 on that lineup card, with Michael Franco back in their third base, and rookie Nick Pivetta is on the mound. Luis Gohara faces the Phillies, Tommy, for the first time. He's got the ball in the home closer.
Yeah, he'll be making his 4th start on the year, coming off a good ball game his last time out, albeit a loss. 6 innings of 4-run ball against the Washington Nationals. Been a pretty good season for a short season up here for him with Atlanta, and 3 starts. He's 1-2 with a 6 ERA, so he'll look to improve upon that. But his last 2 starts been pretty good. He's thrown the ball well, been aggressive in the strike zone. No walks in his last 2 starts, so he's been in the strike zone and certainly wants to continue that today.
And his 4 keys to pitching success. I should have said number 1. Maybe he'll pitch like the guy down on the field right now, Steve Avery. That would be a really good game. This lineup today loaded with right-handed hitters. He's had some trouble with right-handers, so hopefully that back foot slider will be working to perfection.
And Steve Avery has the microphone down on the field. He's going to welcome the fans to the ballpark and give the signal to get this game started.
It's time for Braves baseball. Let's play ball.
Nicely done, Steve. Braves do a great job on home Sundays with their Alumni Sunday program. I'm assuming Steve is here for that, the final home game of the year for the Atlanta Braves today. Atlanta is 37 and set record at home. 37-40, I believe it is, at home here at SunTrust Park.
37-43.
37-43, I beg your pardon, at SunTrust Park in their first season. Chance today to get to 32-36 against the East, with 4 games left with the Mets and the Miami Marlins on the upcoming season-ending road trip. Nice crowd here on a sun-splashed afternoon. Boy, summer just won't let go. It's hot, it's sticky again here in Atlanta. And Cesar Hernandez will get things started for the Phillies. Hernandez at second base at .292 with 8 homers and 31 runs driven in. So first pitch scheduled for 1:35. It's 1:37 as Gohara turns it loose. And we're underway with ball 1. .81 degrees, but feels a lot warmer than that. As that one slapped down the right field line, and it's a fair ball. I don't think Hernandez saw that off the bat. He's on his way to second. Markakis' throw is going to beat him. And that hesitation in the box cost Hernandez. He's the first out.
I'll tell you what, Nick had a great read on that off the bat if no one else did. Played it perfectly on the carom and then threw the ball right on the bag. What a way to get this game started for Nick.
Yeah, that was a strike. Couldn't make a better throw.
So it's a single, a 9-6 put out, and Aaron Altair's the batter with 1 away. Altair does not yet have a hit in this series. He's 0 for 7. And has struck out 5 times in those 7 at bats. And he's quickly behind the 8 ball here. No balls, 2 strikes.
On that Ford key, left-handers, he hasn't seen many. They're just 1 for 8 against him. Right-handers, though, a .345 average with a homer, the only homer he's allowed.
That's popped toward right and into the seats. No play for Nick. 0-2 your count.
Tommy, I think you saw him pitch that last start against Washington. We were talking about the slider and how he was getting away with some high sliders, but they were hard.
Yeah, they're hard. And I think, and like I said last time I saw him pitch, you know, he likes to pitch in, which is fine. But you have to do something to get them off of that fastball in that hard slider. To me, It's either got to be a combination of fastballs and changeups away to keep him honest on that side.
One ball, 2 strikes for Aaron Altair, who's starting in center field today. No Odubel Herrera for the Phillies. And another bouncer out of play. Braves have gotten 2 excellent starts in this series. Sean Newcomb on Friday night, 2 runs in 5 1/3 innings. Julio Teheran, 2 runs in 7 innings. Last evening, Gohara trying to make it 3 for 3. As that one skips up there, there's that back foot try, but it was too low. 2-2.
See, that's kind of what I'm talking about there. He threw, you know, you might get a guy to chase that. But when you, the pitch before was essentially the identical pitch that he pulled foul. The more looks they get at that and the more looks they see where it is, the less likely they are to chase it. So if you go the other side of the plate a little bit, change their eyesight.
Another strikeout for Altair. That's 6 in 8 trips to the plate in Atlanta. 2 outs.
Yeah, this has been a struggle for him this series. That one took a little bit off the slider. Throw it for a strike and fooled him with the change of speeds.
So here's a lefty, Nick Williams. 11 homers, 52 knocked in. Williams has picked up 3 hits and a couple of RBIs in the series. And he swings at the first one and skies it toward left. And that ball carries out to the track, and Gohara is out of the first inning. Nice play by Nick Markakis to throw out Cesar Hernandez. Here come the Braves. Last night, and he's amongst those leading the chop for the home finale today. Mike Foltynewicz, Sean Newcomb in amongst that group as Atlanta comes up here in the bottom of the first inning for Brian Snitker. Ender Inciarte will lead off. Johan Camargo gives Ozzie Albies the day off. He's at second. Freeman back in the lineup after a virus knocked him out last night. Markakis fourth. Suzuki is the Braves catcher. Ruiz, Swanson, Peterson, Luis Gohara. Nick Pivetta, the native of Canada, is on the mound for the Phillies.
Making his 25th start, 6-10 on the year, but real good numbers against the Braves. Couple starts, 2-0 with a 3.27 ERA.
Excellent curveball.
Got a ton of strikeouts.
129 of them in 122 innings. In fact, that 129 strikeout total is the 7th most in Phillies history for a starter's first 25 starts since 1913. So a lot to like, despite a gaudy 6.57 ERA for Nick Pivetta.
Yeah, I was trying to find a place where he didn't have such a high ERA on his splits. They're high across the board.
But don't tell the Braves. You look at his record against the Marlins. He's 1-1, 866. Nationals 0-1, 7.45 ERA. Mets 1-1, 6.48. But he has commanded the Braves over 11 innings, holding the Braves hitters to a .220 batting average this year.
93 to 95 on his fastball to go with that curveball.
Line drive towards center and curling away from Altair. And Ender Inciarte has hit number 195. He's now 6 away from Charlie Blackmon, the National League hits leader. And a good start for the Braves in the first.
Nice play by Altair. An athletic play to keep that ball from bouncing and then squibbing past him. He almost overran it.
So here's last night's hitting hero, one of them at least, Johan Camargo. A 2-out double in the 8th inning brought home the winning runs for the Braves. Johan now with 27 runs batted in and 21 doubles. This one's in the air to center. And Altair's going to have room just in front of the shadows in center field. Well hit ball, but 1 out. Good to see Freddie up and about in the clubhouse this morning. He's trying to add to his 28 homers, 71 RBI year. Way outside. Nice stop by Alfaro. 1 ball, no strikes.
That is a big guy. 6'5", 220, just 24 years old, out of British Columbia.
Freddie had a good cut and fouled it straight back. Look at that ball. Ricochet almost down to the pitcher's mound. Even count. Well, when the Washington Nationals decided they had to have Jonathan Papelbon, the Phillies were all too happy to trade Jonathan to their division rivals. Nick Pivetta was the man that came back in that deal. 1 ball, 1 strike. And now 2-1. Right off his thumbs and back into the seats. 2-2 here in the opening inning. Phillies failed to score in the top of the first. Runner goes. The pitch is high. The throw also high. And Ender is out at second. And did Freeman go around? Yes, on an appeal to third. Freddie Freeman is struck out. It's a strike him out, throw him out double play. And the Braves are out of luck in their first turn. Rhys Hoskins leads off for the Phillies. No score after 1.
brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity delivers the fastest internet and the most Wi-Fi coverage throughout your home. And by Delta Airlines.
Scoreless game after one inning here at SunTrust Park. Hope you'll stay with us the entire afternoon. We've got the very exciting match race between Paul Bird and the Freeze to look forward to around the 7th inning here at home. I wonder if Paul has his own green room to get ready for the race. I'm sure he's got a locker room of some sort to get ready.
I would think so.
Just someplace to jog a little bit, stretch out.
Yeah.
Someplace to sit his mullet, you know, place it somewhere until he needs it.
So Rhys Hoskins leads off for the Phillies and takes a little low. 1 ball, no strikes. Hoskins has a hit in 8 tries here in Atlanta. 18 homers, 46 driven in. And that's since mid-August, folks. That's why the Phillies are so excited about what this young man might do over 162 games starting opening day next year. Sharply hit to third. Nice play. Long throw. Hoskins an easy out. Rio makes a nice play at the hot corner. Gohara appreciates that. 1 away.
We were talking about Rio last night hitting the home run, being heads up to get Micah Johnson to go back and touch home plate in case he had missed it. We also touched on the fact that he's been playing very solid third base. Nice play there.
Yeah, he's making a strong showing for himself here, no question.
Here's Tommy Joseph. He had a pinch hit in the series. And he takes a strike. Joseph at 240, 22 homers, leads their club. And Pete Mackanin trying to give him some at-bats and keep Hoskins in the lineup. Joseph at first, Hoskins in left for game 3 of the series. And fouled back and out of play, 0-2. Everything I've read about Tommy Joseph is he has handled the ascension of and the taking of playing time by Rhys Hoskins exceptionally well. He has been a true pros pro trying to help Hoskins get acclimated. He knows the deal. He's a big part of the Phillies' future. And that certainly earned the praise and appreciation of his manager, making a difficult situation as easy as possible.
And because of that, he'll probably find another job this winter. A lot of teams looking for first baseman. I'd say the same applies to Matt Adams should the Braves decide to move him.
Yeah, first baseman with some pop. Nice to have.
One ball, 2 strikes for Tommy Joseph. Took downstairs. Pop fly foul over the Braves dugout. No chance for Freddie to catch that. Fans will chase down the souvenir and we'll do it again. There is a pretty stiff breeze blowing from left field toward right. Let's see what effect that has on fly balls today. As Gohara turns it loose with the 2-2. And it's off speed, and Joseph didn't get it. 2 strikeouts, 2 outs.
It's another one of those he took a little off his breaking ball.
Yep. Tried the fastball in the pitch before, got him to foul it off, and comes back in the same area, but off speed with a wrinkle. Good pitch.
So here's Michael Franco, Ron Washington, and Terry Pendleton getting the attention of Rio Ruiz at third, Jace Peterson in left, getting them positioned properly for the Phillies third baseman. Franco started one of the 2 games here in Atlanta. That was last night. Had a couple of hits, and he scored a run. .20 homers for him, but a .231 average. Has the Phillies somewhat perplexed. Pitch up and away, ball 3. Got a green light and he pops it up. Suzuki couldn't find it, now does at the last minute. It was right behind the plate and he got a little help from Rio Ruiz and Gohara. And Franco on a 3-0 pitch pops out to the catcher. No score. Home second coming up.
And it is so hard to believe that this is the final game here at SunTrust Park. First of all, congratulations to the Atlanta Braves on an incredible inaugural season. So I'm down here right now below the chop, one of the many unique features here at SunTrust Park. And this season, 2.5 million fans have come through the gate. That's about 500,000 more than last season. There have been 10 sellouts. There have been 2 sold-out concerts. The Battery that we all love so much, that's only 30% of the way open. So it is just going to keep getting better. And Baseball Digest named SunTrust Ballpark of the Year. Very much deserved. Tip Joe and Tom, this is a baseball lover's paradise.
Yeah, it's turned out to be a great development, Kelsey. A baseball city, as it were. And as you mentioned, there's still so much more to come with the Omni Hotel opening around Christmas time this year. The rest of the Battery will continue to fill out, not to mention the residential areas inside the Battery, which are, I believe, being occupied as we speak. So it's not just going to be from April to October. It's going to be, we hope, a round the calendar destination spot for people to come visit and play.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I'm curious to see the activity over here during the offseason. I would imagine it'll be still pretty good.
Roxy Theater, I'm sure, will be hopping.
And we've got a football game here too this fall.
This fall or next?
Is it this fall or next fall?
I think it's next year.
Maybe you're right. But still, that'll be something besides baseball for the ballpark.
There's some kind of golf event I heard about today that I don't have any details on, but that will also take place, I think, in October. Contest, you know, accuracy contest, something like that.
Well, thank goodness Smoltz will be busy, otherwise he'd be.
Don't be so sure he won't fly in for the day.
Right.
2-2 pitch for Nick. And strike 3 at the knees from Pivetta. And he's got his second strikeout of the game and the first out of the second inning.
His first outing against the Braves was June 5th. He won that game 11-4, struck out 4 in 5 innings. Then at home in Philadelphia, he beat the Braves 7-6 on July 31st. 6 innings, only gave up 1 run, 1 walk, struck out 5 on that occasion.
Big day yesterday for Kurt Suzuki, and he didn't see a single pitch. It was announced yesterday that Kurt and the Braves have agreed on a one-year contract extension. He will be back with the Braves next season. And what a great bit of fortune for Atlanta to have Kurt Suzuki this year and next. 18 homers for Kurt. As this one's rolled toward third, Franco with a bare hand fires to first, off target and down the right field line. Suzuki's on his way to second with a hit and a throwing error.
The old swinging bunt. Franco was playing back behind the bag. He would have been better served probably just to hang on to that one.
So he commits his 15th error, and Suzuki's in scoring position for Rio Ruiz. Rio scored a couple of runs last night, hit a 6th inning homer to cut the Phillies lead to 2-1. Braves got 3 in the 8th to win 4-2. And upstairs, ball 1. The home run certainly got Rio some attention, but a play you don't see in the box score is one that caught your eyes last night, fellas. That made sure the Braves got a run that they scored in that 8th inning.
Yeah, when Micah Johnson kind of dove across the plate and reached back for it, we didn't know if he touched home plate or not, but Larry Vanover didn't give a sign of safe or out, which to him, to us, means he didn't touch the plate. And Rio saw that, and he said today, I didn't want to leave it to chance for the umpire.
Yeah, as the replay showed, he skimmed across home plate with his hand, but you're right. Good catch by Rio, making him go back and make sure there were no issues.
Two balls, one strike. And out of play. Now 2-2.
I love it when young players see things like that, observe things like that, because they're paying attention to what's going on and not just watching what I'll say is a routine RBI, base hit and an RBI. Just keeping an eye on the play at the plate.
Oh, it's, you know, another one of those examples that no matter where you are in the field, every play you've got a job to do. And as the on-deck hitter, that your job is to assist that guy coming into home plate.
So Rio's forced a full count from Nick Pivetta. Suzuki has a good lead out at second base. Crawford trying to keep him close at shortstop. And Pivetta wants a new set of signs. Fly ball towards center, but playable for Altair. And Suzuki retreats to second with the second out. So here's Dansby. Dansby had a 2-hit night last night. He drove in a game-tying run in the 8th for the Braves and continues his good work with runners in scoring position. Since he's come back from Gwinnett, Dansby's been one of the more reliable run producers for the Braves. He's batting .400 with runners in scoring position since coming back. And there's the breaking ball for a strike.
This guy Pivetta, he was a 4th-round pick by the Nationals, and you can understand why when you see his size and his stuff. You understand it. But what a strange route he had to take to get drafted.
Line drive toward right, and in the corner, Williams makes the grab, and that will retire the side. No runs, a hit, an error, a man left. SunTrust Park, our beautiful baseball city, closes its doors in 2017, but the battery still hopping.
Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Sherwin-Williams.
No score after 2 as the Phillies are coming up with the lower third of their order. MLB.com at bat, your #1 mobile app for live Braves baseball. Stay connected with a fully customizable experience. Get Atlanta Braves home screen icons and app features, as well as game day, live game video highlights, radio broadcasts, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat today. So far, so good for Luis Gohara. A couple of strikeouts in his first 2 frames. He's faced the minimum. And now he'll face J.P. Crawford leading off the Phillies' third. Crawford at 245 on the year, took a strike. 1-1 your count. Braves after this game head to New York. We've got a makeup doubleheader tomorrow at Citi Field. The night games Tuesday and Wednesday. The Phillies face the Nationals next. As that one's bounced toward third. Nice grab, long throw, and the scoop at first is in time to get Crawford for the first out. And there's some rumblings, maybe some soft rumblings, that Bryce Harper might be back in time for that Phillies series for the Nationals.
I hope he is. Hope he's able to come back and be ready for the postseason.
Washington's playing the Mets today and winning by a 2-1 score. That game's in the 4th inning. Braves will have Lucas Sims and Max Fried in that order in the double dip. Chris Flexen and Seth Lugo will be the starters for New York tomorrow. And we'll of course have both games for you here on Fox. First pitch swing by Alfaro, driven to right. That is over Nick's head and up against the base of the fence. Alfaro's on his way to second. Here comes the throw. Nick's going to nail another one.
And a boy. Gotta love it. Big old slow catcher, hammered one. Thought he got to have a double since it hit the wall.
Go.
caught a little break too, like you talk about all the time. Hit that wall and just kind of took that short bounce and stayed there. But Nick went and got it and made a heck of a throw.
And for the record, Jorge, that was Joe. But y'all remember Tree Rollins, great center for the Atlanta Hawks? He, in his later years, when the Hawks were still on the Superstation, these young players would come in and try to dunk on him, and Tree would block their shot. And finally, Tree had had enough, and he finally looked at one of the young players and said, "Son, didn't you have cable growing up?" So my point is, I wonder if Nick would say that to Alfaro. Hey, did you ever watch these games when I was over in the American League even?
That's a great line.
So 2 assists has assisted Gohara to the second out here in the 3rd inning. Nick Pivetta, the batter, he's behind in the count. And he puts it in play to the right side. Freeman with a backhand. Race to the bag. Luis got there. And the inning is over. Peterson, Gohara, and Inciarte coming up. Good day already for Nick Markakis afield.
Of the 3rd, and we all know about the big race that is happening here in the 7th inning. So of course we had to wrangle up the 2 competitors. We have the Freeze and of course Thunderbird, Paul Bird, Birdie Man, Bird. The Freeze. I'm going to start with you, man. You got any final thoughts going into the final race of the year?
Yeah, the final race of the year. You know, all my competitors led me up to this race. You know, it ain't easy beating the Freezy.
Paul Bird. Final thoughts.
Well, the greatest promo in sports events right here. I'm going to take him down a notch because, you know, he's done nothing but win all year long. That's about to stop today. Be prepared for the blonde mullet to be bouncing big, and you're going to be behind it.
Okay. So why do you think you're going to beat the Freeze?
He has no response to that. He has no response to that.
Why do you think you're going to beat the Freeze? Give me one
because
reason.
One good reason is I'm sponsored by Mizuno. These came in late in the mail, UPS. Somebody just got a little faster. Mizuno is guaranteed that these will make me beat you. Run like the wind.
I wear Mizuno too.
We're at a standstill now. Now what?
Well,
the old I wear Mizuno
right
too.
Thunderbird. Get on Team Thunderbird.
Mama.
It's getting real. Sponsored by my mom as well.
Do you think that he could actually have a chance of beating you?
Let's see. No, not at all.
Birdie, going into it. I mean, you've trained for this. You've trained your whole life for this.
Former professional athlete, retired, a little bit overweight, middle-aged. I'm here to give hope to all men everywhere with big foreheads that if you really want it, you can make it happen. I am going to take down an elite Olympic trial athlete for the bobsled team last week in Lake Placid.
You know, everyone has dreams, you know. I'm not going to discourage his dream or anything, but he's not beating the Freeze today.
Well, I don't know what's happening, but Paul's your glasses are fogging up a little bit. I think we need to.
This heat is going to melt the Freeze.
Okay. 7th inning. So I'm going to let them stretch it out a little bit. Chip, Joe, and Tom, just pray for them down here. It's getting intense. It's getting heated.
It is. The Jimmy McElroy motivational ploy by Paul Byrd. If you can dream it, you can do it. As the big race coming up. 7th inning here at SunTrust. Jace Peterson takes a walk to lead off the inning. So let's see if Gohara can move him up. Luis has laid down a sacrifice.
There's a little bit of wind, as you pointed out earlier, Chip, blowing across toward right field. Maybe that'll help Paul, but I don't know if even that breeze matches the hot air that we're hearing come across before on the pre-race.
There's been no shortage of pre-race hype, that's for sure.
I mean, Paul's even paid fans to make. I mean, fans have brought signs.
It's a play.
Fun try, and Gohara couldn't connect. Strike one. Franco in on the grass at third. Jace Peterson with the lead. And there's the bunt. One hop. Hard to second one. On to first, double play. That didn't work. And the Phillies double up Peterson and Gohara. And back to the top. 2 outs.
Yeah, when the only guy that's playing in on you is the guy you bunt it to, that's not a recipe for sacrifice.
No.
So the Braves have been doubled up twice in this game. And back we go to the top and Ender Inciarte, who singled and was thrown out in the front end of that strike him out, throw him out double play with Freddie Freeman. 195 hits now for Ender. He just might catch Charlie Blackmon. And the Brewers and Cardinals might also catch Charlie Blackmon's Rockies. Colorado got beat again yesterday. They've been shut out 3 of their last 4 games. Believe it or not. They're a game ahead of Milwaukee for the 2nd wild card. Colorado will host the Marlins next. Miami's out in Arizona. They beat the Diamondbacks 12-6 last night. Giancarlo Stanton hit his 57th homer. Ground ball to second. That should be easy for Cesar Hernandez, and a double play helps Pivetta escape 3rd inning trouble. Top of the Phillies order coming up. No score. Is 6 or 7 healthy meals a day. And thanks to our friends at Delaware North, they've come through again with an unbelievable assortment of goodies on our final game of the regular season at home.
What do you have down there?
These look like the old delicious tomahawk nachos. Got the chicken fingers and curly fries, the old Coke float, with the cool Braves tomahawk.
I don't think I've had that yet, so I'm looking forward to that.
Here's your chance.
Everything else I've had.
We've got the tacos here with just chock full of jalapenos. That looks awesome. And of course, the standard cheeseburger that has been a standard for us up here just about every home game. And I echo what Chip says. Thank you so much to Delaware North for all of the sustenance that kept us going all summer long. Thank you.
I thank you. My waistline, not so much.
Yeah, we almost starved to death until they came through all summer long. And fans can continue to get a taste of Braves country in the offseason at the Terrapin Tap Room, Fox Brothers Barbecue, and the First and Third Sausage Shack in the offseason. And that's what makes SunTrust Park and the Battery so cool. We talked about it being a 7 days a week, 12-month a year destination place. Well, if you got to get your ballpark food fix, you'll have your chance.
Yeah, they got a couple good restaurants over there.
Great assortment.
There's a high hopper off the bat of Hernandez. Race to the bag and no chance. So Cesar Hernandez with an infield hit leads off the Phillies' fourth. He's 2 for 2 in the game and has 24 hits against the Braves this year. That's got to frustrate you. He made a pretty good pitch. He was going to get a ground ball, but Hernandez topped it just hard enough that it stayed in the air long enough for him to outrun the ball.
Yeah, that's one that off the plate like that, the ball can't come back out of the air fast enough. You can see the guy getting down the line. It's just like, come on, get here, get here, get here. Freddie tried to make a quick transition to have a chance and just couldn't get the ball out of his glove.
Altair struck out again his first time up and takes outside, ball 1. Altair 0 for 8 in the series, 6 strikeouts. Way up and away, ball 2. So, Joe, your Ford keys today, right-hand hitters, whole bunch of those for the Phillies. Gohara faced the minimum through 3. Hasn't really had to use that back foot slider much in the first go-round against the Phillies lineup today.
Really only one hard hit ball, and that was the base hit by Alfaro.
That one hit hard but foul. 2-1 the count.
Chan looked it up for us. Nick Markakis with 2 assists already today. He had 2 on the year coming in. Up to 4. With perfect throws.
Got to keep an eye on Hernandez. He's stolen 14 bases. And fouled straight back. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
He's certainly got a good fastball, and we've seen it pretty consistent at times at around 96 or 97. The changeup, and I like the slider a lot. Whether it's a bad one high, it's thrown hard, or the back foot, it's good. The changeup sometimes gets away from it.
Oh, Suzuki wanted that pitch, didn't get the call. Full count,
and that was a good one.
That was a good one.
Well, let's see what the young man cooks up with a full count. Hernandez leads and draws a throw.
That was a good pitch. I don't know at what part of it that Stu Surewater didn't like it. Maybe the way Kurt caught it.
Swing and a miss. Altair is swinging at the invisible ball this series.
Doubled up on the changeup.
Beauty too. I have to take back what I said if he keeps throwing it like that.
Well, if he does, I mean, that's, you know, again, you want to pitch inside, fine, but that's the equalizer a little bit in terms of keeping guys honest on that inside corner where they can't just look in hard all the time. If you can show them you can locate away and locate something soft away, now you're in business.
And now he's got a lefty hitter up there, which he's carved up in his first 3 major league starts. Nick Williams, that batter, he's flied out to left in his only trip.
He pretty much wants to swing at that first pitch no matter where it is.
Yeah.
That was a good choice by Kurt to throw a breaking ball, and he chased it.
Yeah, that's doing your homework, recognizing, you know, like I've talked about before, there are some guys that when they get in the batter's box, you treat them like it's 0-2 because they're swinging and there's no need to throw them a strike.
Oh, 0-2.
Bragging on this guy last night, though. Put him in Citizens Bank Park for a full season and watch his numbers. 11 homers in 76 games this year total. Five of his 11 at home.
Hernandez leads at first with a 1-2 pitch. And that one's lifted towards short. Dansby drifting out, says he's got room and makes the call and the catch for the second out.
Nice play there. Nice job by Chase Peterson. He was chasing that pop-up, wasn't going to let it drop until he heard Dansby, and rather than just kind of run up behind him, he stopped, gave him plenty of room so he didn't hear any footsteps coming.
Hoskins was retired on a nice play at third by Rio Ruiz, leading off the second. And that's taken low. Ball 1.
Tom, when you first started throwing your circle change, was it after you got into pro ball?
Yeah, it was after I got to the big leagues, actually.
No kidding.
Yeah, I threw a fork ball in the minor leagues that, like I said before, I thought was the greatest pitch on earth until Ned Yost told me it was horrible and nobody would swing at it in the big leagues. I said, okay. And then I started to try to learn the circle change, and, you know, then ultimately settled on a little bit of a variation of that grip. But yeah, it was.
Was it hard to trust it, though, coming out of your hand in such a funny way?
Yeah, that's why I had a hard time with it, because I was inconsistent with it, you know, and you know, the inconsistency for me was with velocity. Sometimes it would come out the way I wanted to. Sometimes it would come out too hard. And in that coming out too hard is always in the back of your mind. So you tend to slow down a little bit, give it away. And it wasn't until I ultimately ended up with the grip that I did where all that was taken out of my mind and it was easy to be aggressive with it.
So how'd you come up with the grip? Did you just fiddle with the ball and felt something? And
by accident. I was shagging BP in spring training one day. Ball rolled out and I went and picked it up. Went to pick it up with my bare hand and it settled on my middle finger and my ring finger, and I thought, wow, this feels pretty good. And then I had a side session the next day and I tried it and it was really good. And then it was just a matter of refining it.
How about that?
Ball 4 to Hoskins, and the inning continues for the Phillies. You hear that story, or a story like that, kind of, I won't say often, but Mariano Rivera, for example, was playing catch and threw a ball that cut, and he was like, oh, wait, what's that?
Can I do that again on purpose?
Right,
Yeah.
and he rode that to a Hall of Fame career as well. So,
yeah, I mean, it's a hard pitch. I mean, you know, that's why it's so hard for guys, because everything else you do is geared towards arm speed. You know, whether it's fastball, breaking ball, your arm speed to create it. But when in the back of your mind, when you know you're trying to throw a ball slower, it just, your tendency is to want to slow down and help it.
And hitters see that right away.
Right away.
So Tommy Joseph, who struck out his first time up, hits with 2 on and 2 out here.
I thought you were about to ask us a question.
Would you like me to?
No, he said Tommy Joseph.
Oh.
It's rather formal.
That missed inside. The Phillies first baseman, Tommy Joseph.
There you go.
9 of his 22 homers have tied the game or put the Phillies in front. So gotta respect this guy. He leads their club in homers. Didn't get that pitch though. 2 balls and a strike.
See, and there's that changeup. That's good equalizer right there. 2-0 count. Guys fastball oriented, looking probably middle in. Get the changeup away. Good pitch. And just that one time, even that will open up the inside corner, inside half of the plate more for him.
Line drive left field. Jace Peterson is there, and he's got it. A hit, a walk. Joseph lines out. Still no score. Johan Camargo will lead off for the Braves. He'll be followed by Freddie Freeman and Nick Markakis. We'll see if Atlanta can break through when we come back. Is here. He always gets the pretty girls to root for him. Big race with Freeze coming up in the 7th inning. No score in the 4th. And time for our cold hard facts, brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. Braves have had all kinds of troubles with the Phillies overall this year, but fellas, not lately. Braves have turned the tables on them.
Yeah, it started with that doubleheader sweep up in Philadelphia. So Atlanta's won the last 4 meetings between the two teams, and offense has been good, and the pitching has been outstanding. A 1.50 ERA.
Yeah, they certainly have turned the tides here the last 4 games, which is fun to watch.
So let's see what Camargo can do. The Braves' second baseman today is 0 for 1. He flied out his first time, and he brings a 4-game hit streak into today's action. If there's one trend that seems to be really prevalent in baseball these last couple of years, it is the trend of versatility. Players that can play multiple positions, hit in multiple spots, and in the case of Camargo, he can switch hit. I think of all the Braves position players we've seen this year, his case is going to be the most interesting one to follow next year as to how the Braves plan to use him. Will Camargo, as this ball is hit to the right side, nice play. Hernandez, 360 spin and a beautiful play. Is Camargo going to have enough power to play third base every day, or is he going to be a super utility kind of player who gets a lot of starts at a lot of different positions?
I think he's an outstanding weapon that you can use in a lot of different ways. Will he grow into some power? He might. But if there's one thing he doesn't do real well, he doesn't run real well. He's not real fast. but he hits from both sides of the plate. He hits line drives. You already said he's got 21 doubles. He can really pick it. He's got good hands and one of the best arms on the team. That's a terrific weapon in a lot of ways.
Yeah, there's a lot to like there. Does he have enough power to be a corner guy every day? I don't know. I mean, I would imagine the Braves are going to think long and hard about that. I don't know what everyday third baseman might be available either through a trade or free agency, but I think he certainly is penciled in for their plans.
Freddie strokes one towards center, but Altair is going to catch that. As a little cloud cover is giving the fans a little relief on this sunny Sunday. 2 outs.
But you're right, Chip. I mean, I think in today's game, you know, unless you're just one of those guys that's a stud at your position, you know, a Freddie Freeman, a Chipper Jones, it would behoove you to be able to put a couple other gloves on and go out there and play a couple other different positions. No question about it.
Sure would.
I recall just a few years ago, the Braves had a pretty versatile guy who didn't hit for a lot of power named Martin Prado, who could play third, he could play second, he could play left, first.
Then all of a sudden he started hitting some homers.
Right.
Yeah, particularly if you're a guy that can hit. If you can hit, they're gonna find a place to put you in the lineup somewhere. So the more positions you can play, the better off you are.
Pivetta pitching another good game against the Braves. Gohara's been excellent against the Phillies as well. Just 5 total hits.
I think that's something that's helped Jace Peterson, you know, increased his value instead of just being a second baseman. He's been all over the diamond. He's played short, third, left field. He could play some center. And talk about picking up another glove. I don't know if he has an interest, but if I were Jace, I think I might try catching a little bit. You know, there's such great value in having a guy who could be a catcher as a third catcher instead of carrying 3 catchers.
2 balls and a strike for Nick Markakis. He's got a couple of assists today. He threw out Hernandez trying to stretch a single into a double, and threw out Jorge Alfaro in the third trying to do the same thing. He had 2 assists, as Joe said, coming into today's action. He's got 2 against the Phillies. That's pulled foul past first. And we'll do it again. Cubs in Milwaukee wrapping up their series. Boy, they've had 3 unbelievably exciting games. Milwaukee walked off the Cubs and Wade Davis yesterday. Chicago trying to get out of town, winning 3 out of 4. And Markakis fouls it at the plate. That stung Alfaro. He couldn't hang on.
Phillies have the makings of a pretty good rotation if everybody is healthy with these young guys. Not just Pivetta. You already know about Aaron Nola and how good he is. They need Vince Velasquez to come back healthy. That'd be a terrific third guy. Eichhoff is real good at times. Jared Eichhoff. Saw Ben Lively last night. Had a rough night, but he's certainly in their plans, as is another guy that's on the DL, and that's Zach Eflin. They've all got high ERAs this year, but with this experience they've gained this summer, they might be pretty tough next year.
Up the middle. Nice pick by Crawford, who played that bounce very, very well. 3 up, 3 down for Pivetta. The duel continues to the 5th. No score. Game summary. Gohara and Pivetta, 2 rookies, have pitched like savvy veterans so far through 4.
I love watching young guys pitch well and see their confidence grow, and I think we're seeing that a lot with Luis, who's in his 4th start today.
Yeah, I think he's doing what you want to see guys do. Not especially at this juncture of their career in the Braves season. Not necessarily go out there and win every game. I mean, that's what you're going out there for. But at a minimum, you want to see progression every game, and I think we've certainly seen that from Luis.
Michael Franco swung on a 3-0 count and popped out to the catcher to end the 2nd inning. He'll lead off the 5th for the Phillies, and he drives the first pitch a mile high, a mile deep, and this one's going to be long gone up into the Hank Aaron Terrace. A first pitch leadoff homer for Franco puts the Phillies in front.
You mentioned the word ambush the other day on a first pitch homer.
I think that was a changeup too, which I don't think that he was necessarily looking for it. I'm guessing it was up a little bit.
Let's find out.
Yeah, kind of middle, cut back over the plate.
It's another one of those swings by a hitter who got that front foot out there, but he got it down and was able to keep his hands back. Nicely done.
So 21 homers for Franco puts the Phillies in front in the 5th inning, and J.P. Crawford, the shortstop, bats for the 2nd time. 1-0 Phillies. As Crawford now faces a 1-ball, 1-strike count.
One of the things I've noticed about Crawford, we talked about where he stands in the box, so far away from home plate, that when he does start his move back toward the plate, he really gets out on his front foot. And I don't know if that's driven today by a left-handed pitcher he wants to get out there ahead of it a little bit, or just having trouble staying back.
Swing and a miss. Nice comeback for Gohara after the homer. Crawford strikes out for the first time, 1 away.
What makes a hitter struggle to stay back? Is it confidence? Is it just you're feeling for you don't trust your hands? All of the above.
Trusting hands and fear of getting jammed are 2 instrumental parts of that. And as I've said so many times, if you're not getting jammed once in a while, you're not really swinging right.
Because I know on the other side of it, with a pitcher, sometimes they tend to rush out there too, and I think a lot of times it's just they're in a hurry to make something happen, and don't trust the process to get there.
And as soon as you start overstriding or getting out on that front foot, everything else slows down. And I'm sure it happens the same way in pitching, that you're not using your lower half.
And your arm drags, and you have a hard time getting back to your proper slot.
That buzzed the tower inside. Alfaro dropped the bat. Ooh, just missed the elbow guard. Swing and a miss again.
Back-to-back sliders, and that one was the back foot.
Yeah, I don't know if that breaking ball before, if he's intentionally taking something off his slider, or if that's actually what he would consider his curveball, but it's a nice change of speeds with a similar looking pitch to the hitters, and that was a good job of throwing the slow one first and then the back foot to follow.
So Nick Pivetta stick to a 1-run lead.
I started to say about Pivetta earlier, a strange route to being drafted. He's out of British Columbia, Victoria, British Columbia, and went to New Mexico Junior College. How in the world did he wind up there?
Yeah.
Played on the Canadian junior national team, and maybe a college coach saw him, but if you're good enough, they'll find you.
Michael Franco hits a homer, go higher, then strikes out the side. It's 1-0 Phillies. Philadelphia has struck first. A solo home run from Michael Franco puts them in front as the Braves come up in the bottom of the 5th inning. The frame will start with Kurt Suzuki, and fellas, for the second time in as many days, he's won the lottery.
He has won the lottery.
New contract announced yesterday, and today he's our Georgia Lottery jackpot feature. Since July 1st, Kurt Suzuki has been one of the most productive offensive catchers in the National League. And already an infield hit for Atlanta. That came with 1 out in the 2nd inning in his first and only at bat.
It's pretty nice when he's got a week to go in the season. He's already earned a big raise.
Yeah, that gets your winter started in the right direction.
Sure does. What a nice thing.
Well, I loved what Kurt said when he was asked to comment on the new deal. He said he loves the coaching staff, loves playing for Brian Snitker, and the staff, the city, the organization made him and his family feel so very comfortable that it was almost an easy decision for him to make to come back for the Braves. This ball's popped up. Alfaro couldn't find it, but won't have a play. It's in the Delta Club seats.
Well, you know what we say, if all things being equal, if the family's happy, then you're in a good spot.
Yes. And I don't know how much longer Kurt wanted to play, but given the year he's had, whatever he was thinking, it certainly made it easy to adjust and change if he was thinking about hanging him up. What a year.
0-2 pitch. Alfaro in self-defense got a glove on that ball, and that's all he could do. 1-2 the count. It's funny how a pitcher sometimes has a team's number. No matter what his record is, you just have to throw it out the window and look at head-to-head results. I think Pivetta's got a 6.57 ERA this year in his first season as a Philly. He's got a 3.27 ERA against the Braves, and he's beaten them twice. That's the amazing thing about this game. Anybody can beat anybody else on any given day. Ground ball to third. Franco with a nice pick. Gets his feet settled and throws a strike for the first out.
And all it takes, and I say that, I'm not minimalizing it, but all it takes is a well-pitched game for a guy to have a good day out there.
Yeah, sometimes you definitely have a good matchup against a team in a given year based on their lineup and what you like to do. But sometimes it's as simple as you said, Joe. You have a good game against them, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I did good against these guys last time I saw them. Okay, here we go. And you just take off from there.
There's the breaking ball that's been an effective part of Pavetta's arsenal. Strike one to Rio Ruiz.
Yeah, he's thrown more sliders than curveballs today. It's been good.
That is a foul ball at first.
I thought Stu Sherwater called a fair ball. Like he was holding his mask out with his left hand like a fair ball.
Well, he was looking at David Rackley, who signaled foul once the ball got to Tommy Joseph at first. Rio didn't run. He thought it was foul. That could have been an embarrassing out had it been ruled fair. Only 60 pitches for Pivetta so far. And number 61 on the way, and it's up and away, 1-2. Another pop up back toward us. Minnesota's winning again, 10-2 over the Tigers. That game's in the 8th inning. What a turnaround for the Twins this year.
They're doing what they're supposed to do right now. The schedule's favorable to them, and they're beating a team, and I mean walloping a team that they ought to be beating.
And as the Tigers are without Victor Martinez, they traded away Justin Upton and Justin Verlander, Justin Wilson, Alex Avila. And Brad Ausmus in his final days as the manager there. Detroit will have a new skipper. Another reason for the Twins turnaround. Remember Irvin Santana, the former Brave, 16-8 with a .336 earned run average.
Yep, good for him. Good turnaround.
And smart of the Twins not to trade him. They were contemplating that.
Rio couldn't check himself and is the 7th straight man retired by Pivetta. That's his 3rd strikeout of the game. 2 outs for Dansby. Cardinals and Pirates playing again in Pittsburgh, 1-1. That game's in the 5th inning. Pittsburgh got an 8-run first inning yesterday off Lance Lynn to win 11-6. Cardinals still have playoff hopes. They've got the Cubs on the schedule next. A strike for Swanson.
Just looking at his strikeout high for the year, and there are several double-digit efforts. And his first one was his 3rd start of the year against the Rockies. 11 strikeouts in 6 innings. He had 10 strikeouts in 6 innings against the Cardinals. He had 11 strikeouts in 5 innings against San Diego. Not too bad.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what the 6 ERA is all about. But
yeah,
that's stuff and lack of command probably at times.
And that's kind of stuff can't teach strikeouts.
No.
Well, one reason for that high ERA, he's allowed 5 or more earned runs in 8 games. He's allowed 6 or more runs in 6 of his 25 starts now.
And a bunch of homers, 25 homers. That'll pile on some runs too. Like you said, Tom, he's got stuff, and that will only get better, you would suspect. He'd look pretty nice settling in behind Scherzer, Strasburg, And Gio, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
But they had to have Jonathan Papelbon. Advantage Phillies. No balls, 2 strikes. And Dansby pokes that one into left field. How did he hit that ball?
That was a curveball. Pretty good piece of hitting there by Dansby. Completely fooled, but he could reach it.
Yeah, down in the zone, but a little bit over the plate that gave Dansby the opportunity to get the barrel of the bat on the ball. That ball finishes a little bit more down or a little bit more away. That's a swing and a miss or a ground ball.
See, that's, as a pitcher, I don't know how you refrain from turning on. You're lucky so-and-so. What the hey?
Oh, absolutely.
I made a good pitch there.
Absolutely. But like I say, you gotta be smart enough to realize that there's probably been a mistake or two that you made that ended up being hit at somebody during the course of the game. You just hope it evens out.
Chase Peterson bats with the Braves down a run. Dansby at first with 2 outs. Going to have a game break coming up in a few minutes. Featured pitching matchup today is in New York. Scherzer versus DeGrom, a true matchup of #1 top of the rotation aces. Braves will miss DeGrom. That's always a good thing. The pitch is in for a strike. And 0-2. Max Scherzer trying to polish his Cy Young credentials in the National League. After the Braves roughed him up, he's trying to put together 2 straight good ones. As that one's laced foul down the left field line. Scherzer and DeGrom ranked 1st and 2nd in the National League in strikeouts. They're both in the top 10 in wins, ERA, and innings pitched. So talk about a good old-fashioned Sunday mano-a-mano matchup. That's the game in New York. And we'll tell you what's happening there in just a few minutes with Jerome and BJ. No balls, 2 strikes. No swing. For Jace Peterson with Gohara waiting on deck. Peterson hanging tough. He walked his only time up and was erased on a double play when Gohara bunted into a 5-6-4. 3rd inning twin killing. Pivetta really wants to get Peterson here, then he can start the 6th with the pitcher spot. Jace didn't offer it that one in the dirt. It's 2-2.
Nice stop by Alfaro there. That was not an easy one.
The 2-2 pitch is hit towards second. Joseph broke toward the ball, and Chase beats the play at first.
Where was he going?
I didn't realize how far over his second baseman was playing.
Well, he's holding the runner on, and it was over his head. Good hustle by Jace. His foot wins.
So a misplay by Joseph helps the Braves cause. That's an infield hit for Peterson. And at the very least, Gohara's cleared here in the 5th. Now Pivetta's got a reset. He thought he had the final out of the inning. but he does have the Braves pitcher up with 2 outs. And a strike. Just like that, it's 0-2.
For Luis, he's such a big, strong guy. Just swing hard, because you never know.
And one of the balloons from yesterday's pink out has floated to the screen and now heads skyward. And a breaking ball strikes out Gohara, and that ends the inning. Braves with a couple of 2-out hits, can't cash them in. We go to the 6th. Phillies still enjoy a 1-0 lead.
In today's game, the Phillies lead the Braves 1-0 in the 7th. A home run playing a big part in today's premier pitching matchup. Max Scherzer and Jacob deGrom matching up as the Mets and the Nationals are going at it. Our Xfinity game break. Max Scherzer 10 strikeouts. Jacob deGrom 11, but did surrender this home run to Trey Turner, his 11th of the season. That has allowed Washington to grab a 3-1 lead in the 7th. deGrom is out of the game. Did have 11 through 6. Scherzer still in there, fellas.
What a matchup, and Trey Turner, I think, is going to be a huge difference maker for the Nationals when they get to the playoffs. They're likely to face the Cubs, and just think of the possibilities for Washington and Trey Turner against, say, John Lester and the havoc he could cause, fellas.
He's got such a quick swing too, as you saw in that one. He can turn on it. Good high fastball hitter, as we saw here.
And after a tough start against the Braves, Max Scherzer seems to have found himself a little.
Well, Gohara's down a run thanks to a Michael Franco home run on the first pitch of the 5th inning. Luis now faces Cesar Hernandez, is 2 for 2. Each team with 4 hits, and Gohara off his glove, and that's going to ricochet out to second, and no chance for Camargo. And it's another hit for Cesar Hernandez, who's 3 for 3 on the day.
He's 1 for 2 with 3 walks in game 1 of the series. Camargo was playing him up the middle and was going to get to that too.
So the leadoff man aboard for the Phillies in the 6th. Aaron Altair is the batter. And up and away, ball 1. One more note on that Nationals game. They are playing for something. They are still hoping to catch the Dodgers for the best record in the National League. Slow ground ball hit towards second. There's one, and to first two. Altair took a long time to get out of the box.
Hernandez stopped at first base. I don't know what he was doing. I don't know if he thought it was a line drive back to the pitcher, but
he had a hard time seeing the ball when he hit it, off his own bat.
Right, the first inning.
First inning. Braves will take that.
First Phillies offensive double play. Now Nick Williams, the batter, who's 0 for 2.
Watch out on the first pitch. Great place for it.
Wide of the plate. Well, we said a couple of times in this series, if you haven't caught all the games, one area of big weakness for the Phillies last year was their outfield production. I think it's safe to say, guys, they've taken pretty good care of that this year. Tremendous growth with guys like Williams and Hoskins. You know about Adubel Herrera, Altair. Nice little outfield rotation that Pete Mackanin can run out there on a day-to-day basis, and they've produced some big numbers for him. Williams 11 homers. Altair can hit the ball out of the ballpark. You know about Hoskins.
Yeah, it's not exactly Shane Victorino and Jason Worth at all, but it's getting better.
2-2 pitch upstairs, full count. Well, you know all about the Marlins and the possibility they may trade some players. A name that the Phillies apparently covet is Christian Yelich. Wonder if they would have the ammunition to get him.
I don't blame him.
Who doesn't?
Right? That went over Williams' head, and he walks with 2 outs. Gohara's had excellent control today. That's only his second walk. He had not walked a man on his previous starts, covering 12 1/3 innings. That was up to 15 2/3 innings before issuing one today.
Nick Williams got to wonder what he's doing wrong, because remember, Sean Newcomb sailed a couple over the top of his head too.
Hoskins 0 for 1 with a walk. 1-0 Philadelphia. And launched out a play foul.
This guy's been awfully quiet in this series. Kind of scary.
Let her high and called a strike. And Hoskins didn't think much of that call from Stu Schuerwater. He swings and misses, and he'll have a chat with the home plate umpire about the strike 2 call. Inning over. It's still 1-0 Philadelphia. Top of the Braves order coming up again. It starts with Ender Inciarte seeking hit number 196 in a 1-run game. Braves who are down a run. It'll start with Ender Inciarte, who continues his quest toward a 200-hit season. Here are the all-time single-season hits leaders in Braves history.
Closing in on some pretty good names there, wouldn't you say? Of course, Ralph Garr in there 3 different times. Yeah, that's quite a list to join.
A good list.
Ender with 195 hits, looking for his 57th multi-hit game. He'll be followed by Johan Camargo here in the home 6th, as Nick Pivetta has had a dazzling day today. 82 pitches, 58 strikes. And just missed. And Hoskins is saying, hey, why wasn't that a strike? Must have been inside. Good thing. 1-2. Little looper toward Hoskins. It is a base hit for Ender. That's 196.
Think about 20 more of those.
That's 65 hits for Ender in his last 47 games.
Well, that's what it takes. I mean, you don't expect a guy to play all 162 games, and Ender missed a few with various ailments. So you got to double up or triple. And as I've said so often, got to be greedy. Too many days where it's an offer.
Third time the Braves have had their leadoff man on. Ender's done it twice. And Camargo shoots one down the line, foul. Nice catch on a sinking line drive.
Watch his swing, guys. He gets his front foot down, and then watch how quick his hands are to get the barrel to the ball. Everything stopped when his foot hit. Everything else stopped. His front shoulder, head, everything stood still, and it's just hands working from there.
Boy, did the ball jump off the bat too.
Ooh.
Back to the mound. Pivetta bobbled it and recovers to get the man at first base. So there's a break for the Braves. If he catches that cleanly, they've got a shot at 2. But a productive out, tying run in scoring position for Freddie.
Yeah, if not, at least the lead run at a minimum. Or lead runner, I should say.
Freddie was so ill yesterday, he was told to stay home. Can't imagine he's got full strength today.
My grandmother used to use the word peaked. I saw him in the clubhouse. He looked a little peaked to me. I have no idea what that means, except the insinuation from my grandmother was that I didn't look too good that day.
Your colors weren't quite right.
There you go. Ender forced a balk last night because nobody was holding him on. From Henderson Alvarez, he almost took off again.
It's good. Make that pitcher pay attention to a little bit. Maybe distract him from the hitter.
A shot into right field into the shift. And Ender to third as Freeman's robbed. Hernandez playing the rover position, robs Freddie Freeman. And now there are 2 out.
That would have been an interesting play if Ender had taken off like on a steal to just keep going. Because that would have been a tough long throw for Hernandez.
Yeah, that's about as long a throw as you're going to make as a second baseman on a ground ball up.
Right.
So Pivetta executed the pitch. Hernandez handled the long throw, and now it's up to Markakis, who's 0 for 2. Braves have left 3 men on base today. 2 of them in scoring position.
That was going to work out of the windup.
Yeah, I don't know why guys do this.
Ender sprinted home like he was going to try to steal.
Yeah.
And Pivetta saw that, but kept his windup going.
Well, he sped up a touch and ended up throwing the ball up and away. So eliminate that. Pitch out of the stretch.
Yeah. Do it again.
Yeah. There you go.
Yep.
Somebody got to him and said, all right, pitch out of the stretch.
So 1 ball, no strikes. Ciarte, the first Brave to get to third base today. Lonely afternoon for Ron Washington to this point. There's the curveball. 2 balls and a strike.
It's a good pitch. 2-0 count. Hitters count. Got a base open. Right-hander on deck. Throw the curveball for a strike. Good pitch. Yeah, this is a difficult situation for a young guy too. You know, you got a open base. You don't necessarily want to walk a guy. You want to see if he'll get himself out. But with a hitter like Nick's not going to get himself out. So if you're going to try and nibble, you better not make a mistake.
Because he'll serve it into left field. Good fastball.
So nice comeback for Pete Mackanin, starter. Full count. Phillies lead on a Franco homer leading off the 5th. And now the 3-2 is grounded toward first. Joseph's got it, and Pivetta makes a big pitch with a runner at third and 2 men out. He holds a 1-0 lead. He's through 6 in Atlanta. Tell you this is our live look in from our Xfinity cam. Our final live look in from the Comcast building here at SunTrust Park in 2017.
You know what I take heart in, though? Next year we'll be able to swivel that thing and shine it right into the Omni Hotel and see what's going on over there.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Something to look forward to.
Even the camera agrees.
You're also kind of embarrassed.
There you go. Look at the progress over there. That's the pool deck. Omni's supposed to be open right around Christmas time, we're told. So that'll be exciting to see as Tommy Joseph leads off the 7th. He's 0 for 2. Gohara's still throwing hard at 96, 97 miles an hour. He's struck out a career high 7 men today.
And been pretty efficient doing it. Only 86 pitches.
6 1/3 innings is his major league high in innings pitched. As Joseph ahead in the count.
I think he's a keeper.
And Joseph off stride and fouled straight back at 2-2. Yeah, when you talk about the young pitching prospects the Braves had, it seems to me he's the furthest advanced in that he has more than 2 pitches.
Agreed.
Right? Like that. There's that back foot pitch Joe's been talking about. 8 strikeouts now. He gets Joseph for a second time. And that's 6 1/3 innings for Luis. 1 out. So then it's one thing to have the pitches. The next is how to use them. Then I would guess the third thing is when to use them, when not to use them, and then get a book on the rest of the league, right?
Sure. I mean, it's all, what do you have? What's your stuff? There's Birdie loosening up for the big race.
I thought that was Apollo Creed for a second.
But yeah, what do you have? What's your stuff? What's your number 1, number 2, number 3? Where, you know, how do you sequence? Can you execute the sequences?
Popped him up left side. Who wants this? Stansby says he's got it. And at the edge of the infield grass puts it away. 2 outs. So it's a new career high in innings for Gohara. As Joe said, it's really fun to watch young pitchers pitch well. And Gohara's done that twice in his 4 starts. An exceptional game against the Nationals in D.C. He's got a good one going today, a solo homer. The only blemish.
He just doesn't seem to, unlike Paul, who's at maximum effort right now, he doesn't seem to really have to use max effort on his pitches either.
No, he doesn't. I mean, the ball comes out, he throws hard, but there's not a lot of that. To me, that herky-jerky, like, you know, he's using every fiber that he has. He doesn't, and I think maybe that's why it sneaks up on some people, if that's possible at 96. I think it's because it's pretty easy, and then boom, here it is.
Well, he's a huge kid, and one of the things he does, and he says that he tried to pattern himself after CC Sabathia, is that in his windup he has a little bend in his knee. He kind of drops on his left knee that really emphasizes his lower half. That helps him.
Yeah, loads up on that back leg and then drives forward.
Strike 3 inside corner breaking ball, and Crawford was carved up. 9 strikeouts for Gohara. It's time to stretch. The young left-hander from Brazil is dealing. He's gone 7 innings for the first time in the major leagues. 9 strikeouts. Just needs a little offensive help. It's 7th inning stretch time. When we come back, Suzuki, Ruiz, and Swanson will be the hitters. And for the final time in 2017 at SunTrust Park, Timothy Miller makes his way to the center of the diamond, where he'll lead this big crowd in another beautiful rendition of God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet
Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Let's go places. And SunTrust.
Home 7th, 1-0 Phillies have the lead. Suzuki, Ruiz, and Swanson are coming up. Oh, and it's getting serious now. Paul Bird's got the magical Mizuno cleats. He's lacing up, getting ready for the big match race with the freeze, which is coming up in between the bottom of the 7th and top of the 8th.
He's looking faster.
He does look fast. And Eduardo Ramos is the new Phillies pitcher after Nick Pivetta went 6 shutout innings.
This guy's been on a roll. His last 5 innings, 1 walk, 10 strikeouts. Mid-90s fastball, good curve, a lot of curves.
First pitch, broken bat, roller out to second, and Hernandez takes care of Kurt. That's got to make you mad. Get a pitched hit, you break your bat, and you ground out.
I think that hurt. That hurt something.
He's walking back to the dugout like he hurt his hand.
Yeah.
So there they are. The freeze and Paul Bird. Rio Ruiz the batter. And he takes low. Rio's 0 for 2.
I don't like this fraternization. I think it's going to soften Paul.
I agree. Maybe he's trying to soften the freeze.
Well, you know, there's a lot of that going on. There's some smack talk going on, has been.
But why not do like the boxing weigh-ins? You know, where you're just jaw to jaw, nose to nose.
Those guys all have real flat bellies.
Oh. That's why he's the best in the business, folks. He knows every angle. As Rio digs in, 1 ball, 2 strikes. That's a little low. Cubs lead Milwaukee 1-0 in the 5th. Jose Quintana pitching for Chicago today. Washington 3-1 over the Mets. Pirates 4-1 over the Cardinals. Here it's 1-0 Phillies. Braves officially go over the 2.5 million mark in attendance. The announced crowd 33,183. Payoff pitch is lifted towards center, but Altair drifting back makes the catch, and there's the second out. Official attendance count 2,504,855 for 81 home dates.
Well, it was a good homestand, especially the last 4 or 5 days have been really good.
Yeah, 33 tonight, 39 last night, 33 on Friday, 32,000 against the Nationals the final game.
Players appreciate it too when they're out of the hunt, not even playing a team that's in the playoffs. To show up in these numbers, it's really terrific.
And we appreciate it too. After all, the crowd's as big a part of the game as anything.
Yeah.
And the intimate nature of SunTrust Park has made the crowd a huge part of this 2017 season. And we in the booth thank you for coming out and watching so loyally, and hope to finish strong on the road and join you again on March 29th for the first game of a new year in 2018. And it'll be against these Phillies. No balls, 2 strikes for Dansby Swanson, and it's in the dirt.
Yeah, that'll be kind of interesting and kind of something to look forward to, as much as we talk about the young studs on both of these teams and what might be or could be, to see what combination of guys are actually out there for both teams on the 29th.
Well, barring injury, we know Aaron Nola has a good chance of being the opening day starter for them.
Right. 1-2 pitch is squibbed back to the mound, and Ramos fields and flips to first and works a perfect bottom half of the inning. 1-0 Philadelphia, thanks to a Michael Franco homer. And so the time has come. No more talk. It's time to race. It's time to beat the freeze, Paul Bird. Thunderbird sheds the warm-up jacket, goggles in place, gel applied, shoes laced up, thumbs up. And Paul Bird is ready to join a very short but distinguished list of those that have beaten the freeze at SunTrust Park. The entire Braves bullpen is out on the warning track.
They're lined up.
They're lined up in the dugout too. Paul has been training for at least the last 36 hours to get ready for this incredible challenge, and even the Phillies are lined up.
Yeah. They're working it like a intro for a boxing match.
Yes, they are. So there's the freeze. Kelsey's got her sign. And let's see what strategy Paul Bird employs.
I say he's got to go easy there until he gets to whatever the point is where they let the freeze go, and then he's got to go.
There he goes.
He's got to find another gear out there somewhere.
Knees high, looking pretty good. And here comes the freeze. Birdie picking him up, putting him down. Oh no. He's running out of gas in front of the bullpen.
Go to the kick. Go to your kick.
Come on, Birdie. Oh, and the freeze got him by about 10 strides. What an incredible race. For a 90-year-old man, Paul Bird gave it an amazing effort.
It wasn't for a lack of effort, that's for sure.
Right here. Best promo in all of baseball.
Oxygen tent.
Paul would like to do an interview, but he can't talk at the moment.
You know what, though? That was a heck of a race.
It was competitive.
Held him off for a long time. I'll bet his calves are cramped up so bad right now.
That was great. Way to go, Birdie. You made all of us wannabe athletes proud. So the Freeze makes another friend here at SunTrust Park, and we head to the 8th inning. Jorge Alfaro is going to face A.J. Minter. Boy, was Gohara good. 7 innings of 1-run ball. And the first pitch banged by Alfaro into left field for his second hit of the game. Gohara, 7 innings, 1 run. 5 hits. A career high 9 strikeouts. He walked only 2 men. Most strikeouts, most innings pitched for him in his big league career.
That was good. It was fun to watch. Did the things that he needs to do and has been doing to be successful, and hopefully the Braves get him off the hook.
So Freddie Galvis will come on and pinch hit for Edubre Ramos, who worked a perfect inning of relief. No walks, hits, or strikeouts for Ramos, and a bunt try is pushed foul at first, a strike. You know, Galvis wants to play in every game. He's probably going to do that for the Phillies. And although he didn't start, what a nice weapon for Pete Mackanin to have this guy and his skill set at the plate. But more importantly, in a 1-run game late, you plug him in defensively and make things tougher on Atlanta when they're at the plate. Swing and a miss by A.J. Minter, who has had a tremendous start to his major league career.
Brian Snitker was really bragging on Freddie Galvis today before the game, talking about how outstanding he is defensively, and he said he got my vote for Gold Glove. With Andrelton Simmons no longer in the National League, the Gold Glove is kind of a toss-up between a couple of 3 different guys. Brandon Crawford won it last year at shortstop. I have a feeling Galvis might chalk one up this year.
Yeah.
2 balls, 2 strikes from A.J. Minter, who has not issued a walk in his first 12 career games. He's retired 29 of his last 35 hitters, 15 by strikeout. A big, big arm. And add another strikeout to that tally. 10 Phillies have struck out today. That's the first for Minter. 1 on, 1 out.
Backdoor slider. Good pitch.
I keep saying he's kind of a left-handed, I don't know, a version almost of Craig Kimbrell. Body type.
A little bit of Billy Wagner similarities as well.
Drafted in 2015, the first member of that draft class to get to the majors. Minter was the 75th overall pick that year in the draft. And left-handers who can throw like him, boy, are they valuable.
Well, remember too, he had an arm injury.
Right.
He would have been a sure thing first-round pick. So good work by the scouts to recognize his stuff and urge the Braves to take a chance on him.
That's up and away. 2 balls and a strike for Cesar Hernandez. Alfaro, the catcher, the man anchored at first.
And I have to say they've been very patient too, bringing him along from that elbow injury.
Sharply hit toward third. That's played off the chest. Throw to second is going to be in time. Nice recognition by Ruiz. that the catcher was running between first and second. He got the lead runner. No double play, but it is the second out of the inning, and it brings up Aaron Altair.
Look at Camargo turn himself into a first baseman.
Aaron Altair's ready to get out of Atlanta. It's been a rough series for him. 0 for 10, 7 strikeouts. He's hitting to a double play as well, but now he rips one into the corner for an extra base hit. Ball takes a funny bounce away from Peterson. That's going to score a run, and the Phillies extend their lead to 2-0. That'll make him feel better. He ambushed a pitch. RBI double. And not turning the double play gave the Phillies a swing on the house, and they cashed it in on an RBI hit.
Not just that, but Jace was in a good position to get this ball back in quickly. I don't know what the ball hit to kick it out sooner than it got into the corner. Before it got into the corner, hit off the sidewall.
Yeah,
and a funny carom. And of course, when they got the lead runner, that left Hernandez at first, and he's a much faster runner.
So Minter surrenders only his 4th earned run in his 13th big league game. And now he'll face down Nick Williams, who's 0 for 2. So a little tougher for Atlanta now. They have 6 outs left, need 2 runs to tie the Phillies. Swing and a miss.
There's that first pitch offering. Good spot for it too. A little closer than the last at bat against Gohara.
Trying to check his swing and fouled it off, and AJ now ahead 0-2.
See, if you're a kind of hitter that just swings at everything that comes up there, every pitch, and you're geared to swing as soon as you see the ball, you're going to have that happen to you and chase some bad balls that are out of the zone.
Yeah.
Nice stop.
Boy, that created a crater out in front of home plate.
One-two pitch, swing and a miss, and that takes care of Williams and the Phillies. They add another run, however. Aaron Altair with an RBI double, and the Phillies in the 8th lead 2-0. Paul Berg gave it a great try, but the Freeze beat him in the home finale.
You just saw the big race in the 7th inning. Paul Bird versus the Freeze. Paul Bird, man, you had it there. You looked so good.
I know. You know, I felt really good. I think I experienced runner's high between Wellstar and center field. Not sure, but it felt pretty good. And then I realized I was 46 when I hit the turn. I thought I had it. I didn't know if I had enough left in the tank. But this is the best runner in business, the best promo. Credit to the Braves and Scott Cunningham, Unleashed the Freeze racetrack for coming up with this. And Nigel is simply unbelievable.
Were you surprised? I mean, I've seen a lot of these races, and this was one of the better ones that we've seen.
Yeah, I was surprised. Yeah, it was a great race. I gave the fans something to cheer about, something to remember at the stadium, a good memory. I just like doing what I do. It was fun. I enjoyed it.
Well, Paul, you got your workout in. Oh, we got a new little friend here. Hello.
We got little freezes all over the place. Absolutely fantastic. If you guys don't know, Nigel unloads boxes in the middle of the night for Amazon, comes over, works on the grounds crew, tries to go to school. I don't know when he sleeps, but man, I really admire what you're doing. You're a hero. As you can tell here.
Oh, yeah, you got your own little fan. Are you a fan of the Freeze?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Do you like running?
Yes.
Do you think you could beat Paul Bird?
Yes.
Yes? Oh, we might have to get another race lined up here. But, Birdie, great race. The Freeze, it's been fun watching you this season. Keep it up. Hey, go get some water and some
Hey, I'll try. You know what? Rocky didn't beat Apollo on the first try. You know, he's got to go back, revamp his training, figure out what we can do. I may have been off with a little of my training, so I may study the Freeze. Who knows? Come back.
Well, we'll let Birdie go stretch it out, but we'll get it back up to you guys in the booth.
All right, Kelsey, thank you very much. So I think Paul's laying the groundwork for a sequel.
Sounds like it.
Right?
Mm-hmm. I just hope we don't have to wait till the last home game. I don't think I could take much more of those promos.
Yeah. I'm not sure I could take much more of the mullet.
Lane Adams hits a ground ball to short. And Adam Morgan, the new Phillies pitcher, gets the 8th inning underway with a ground ball for the first out.
He ran a good race, though.
He did run a good race.
Finished strong.
Well, if nothing else, he got a couple pairs of shoes out of it. So.
Yesterday's birthday boy, Matt Kemp.
Although that might make a nice auction item for somebody. Paul Bird's used shoes where he raced the Freeze. Big bucks.
Where's the authenticator?
I don't know. I better go get him.
Fouled away by Matt. Brian Snitker said earlier during this series that it's his assumption that Matt's going to be pinch hitting the rest of the way for Atlanta after a season filled with hamstring problems. 19 homers, 63 RBIs for Matt. Who's playing in his 113th game.
We were talking about Morgan a couple of nights ago. He's picked up a little, actually last night, picked up a little velocity, just a little change to his grip. And now just working full time out of the bullpen. Doesn't have to pace himself at all and just go out there and air it out. Been up around 96, 97. Perfect inning last night with a strikeout.
One ball, two strikes. This is Matt's 7th pinch hit appearance of those 113 games played.
Today's game number 154. That used to be a whole season.
Yep.
Chan, can you look up and see when the last year was? 154 games was a full year. I want to say early 60s.
Kemp reaches out, skies one into shallow right center, and Nick Williams gallops over and makes the play. 2 outs. That would make sense. The Mets and Astros joined the league in the early 60s. Maybe that was the reason why, if that's the date.
And even the Angels in 61, right? Right. And Washington Senators, is that right? In 61, or the Twins?
Get my thinking cap on that one. I think it is the Texas Rangers. Didn't they? Rangers moved from Washington, and the Twins also moved from Washington. So,
yeah, and Drew tells me it was 1961 was the last year of the 154 game schedule.
Ender Inciarte, a 2-hit game today, has 196. See if he can pick another one off against a lefty. Adam Morgan, who looks very sharp again. It's an even count. They go to the 9th inning in New York. Washington 3, Mets 2. Here it's 2-0 Phillies, bottom of the 8th. And Ender just did spin out of the way.
Had me saying ouch up here in that one.
An asterisk on that 1961 season, because the American League had expanded. They played 162 games. The National League 154.
Really?
That's nuts. Huh.
Line drive left. Ender's got a 3-hit game.
Serve it out there.
Look out, Charlie Blackmon. Ender is gaining fast. 197 hits, 4 behind Blackmon.
Ender struck out against Morgan last night. Learned a little something.
Well, a long one would tie it up. Margot with 4 homers is 0 for 3 today. Trying to keep his 4-game hit streak alive. And Alfaro tried to steal a strike and couldn't. 1 ball, no strikes.
Pavetta's got to feel pretty good about the way he's finishing up. He beat the Dodgers his last time out 4-3, and today shut out the Braves in 6 innings.
So Pivetta 4 earned runs in 17 innings against the Braves. 6-10 overall with a 6.57 ERA entering action today. And the Braves down to their last strike in the 8th. Minnesota beat Detroit 10-4. They can pick up a game on the Yankees in the wild card race. They're 5.5 behind them at the moment for the top wild card and home field advantage in that head-to-head game. Yankees are losing in Toronto 9-5. And the 1-2 bounced back to the mound, and Morgan's got it. And he'll flip high to first, but Joseph hangs with it and makes the play. Off we go to the 9th inning. Phillies 2, Braves nothing.
Sports South is presented by your local Hyundai dealers.
Time for the top of the ninth inning. Phillies 2, Atlanta nothing. Lane Adams takes over for the Braves in left field. And the third pitcher of the afternoon is a man that hasn't been out there in a while. Veteran Jim Johnson comes on to try to hold the Phillies right there.
Yeah, he hasn't pitched since September 4th because he's been battling a bad Achilles strain and trying to get that right before he goes back out there. So I know he's excited to be back in action.
First pitch swing. Hoskins pops it up in a shallow right, and Nick Markakis is there. Nick's had an excellent day in the outfield. 2 assists. Throwing out Phillies trying to extend singles to doubles. 1 pitch, 1 out for Jim.
Saw Jim in the clubhouse before the game. Said, "How's it feeling?" He said, "Good."
That was a long conversation for him.
Yep.
Man, a few words.
I took that as a very positive thing. And sure enough, here he is back out on the mound.
Joseph fouled off that sinker. It's 0-2. Doubleheader in New York tomorrow. Braves and Mets will wrap up their head-to-head series. Line drive toward left center. Ender on the run, still going. He tracked it down. A missile off the bat of Tommy Joseph. And Inciarte took away an extra base hit.
There are a lot of plays you enjoy making as an outfielder, particularly a center fielder, but the one you can make where you can catch a ball on the dead run doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah, you talk about wide receivers running routes in football all the time. That was a very well run route to that baseball.
Yes,
I mean, he just picked out a spot, went there, and just met the ball there. That was pretty.
Michael Franco's been a villain today. A first pitch homer in the 5th inning off Gohara. Scored the first of 2 Phillies runs. They added a second run off A.J. Minter in the 8th. And that's where we stand, 2-0. 21 homers, 70 RBIs for the Phillies third baseman. And that one hit a long way, but foul down the right field line. Braves live tomorrow at 3:30 Eastern time. As this ball is popped up shallow center. Ender takes a peek at Lane Adams and puts it away, and Jim Johnson's back. 3 outs, 7 pitches. That's good to see. And the Braves are up for their last turn in the 9th, down 2 to the Phillies. On TV, you can stream them live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go. Download the app and take Fox Sports South and Braves baseball with you wherever you go. It's presented by Honda Generators. Before we get to the bottom of the ninth inning where the Phillies lead 2-0, let's check in with Kelsey, who has a very nice story for the Braves on their final home game of the year.
Yeah, thank you, Chip. So September is Pediatric Cancer Awareness Month, and today Hyundai brought out a pediatric cancer patient from the Children's Healthcare of Atlanta to throw out today's first pitch. So 12-year-old Drew Hiley took the mound on behalf of Hyundai Hope on Wheels. A perfect strike.
That's awesome. What a great day.
So the Braves fans try to rally as Freddie Freeman leads off against Hector Neris, the Phillies closer. Bloop and a blast would get it tied for Atlanta. 2-0 the score. Freddie 0 for 3.
How about 2 bloops and a blast and we win?
That's even better.
Mid-90s on Hector with a lot of split finger pitches. A good year, looking for number 24 in the save column. He's got a good streak working.
Right back up the middle, a base hit for Freddie. He spoiled the shift. So the leadoff man on for Atlanta, and you know about the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning for the Braves.
And there's 17 for his last 17. But had to throw that one and duck.
Well, Nick has made 2 excellent defensive plays. Let's see what he can do with the bat. He's 0 for 3. He's got a big hole right side to play with if he can fill it. And the first one is downstairs. Ball 1. One ball, no strikes. Little chopper headed toward the Braves dugout. Foul. It's 1-2.
A couple good changeups or fork balls, splitter, whatever his off-speed pitch is.
They've done a good job of keeping the Braves on the ground today.
Yeah.
All their pitchers. Only 4 strikeouts.
I've got 13 outs via ground out for the Phillies staff in this game. And Nick didn't get that pitch. A splitter struck him out. 1 away.
3 in a row. 3 good ones.
Great look there with the camera work. Super slow motion. Excellent.
Well, Kurt Suzuki knows a thing or two about dramatic homers. He's hit 18 of them. Let's see what he can do with a man aboard. Kurt with an infield hit, got to second on a throwing error and was left stranded. No balls, 1 strike.
Got to make him elevate it, get something up. Well, hopefully a mistake on that split that stays up about belt high.
Yeah, that's all he's thrown so far. So I guess you got to look for it, like you say, and make him. If it's down, you got to lay off it. Try and force him into a fastball count.
Up and away. Freeman, a very conservative lead at first. Now the 2-1 pitch. Up the middle. That's a base hit. So the Braves have their 2 runners. Rio Ruiz homered last night. A long one here would walk off the Phillies. And Micah Johnson will pinch run for Kurt Suzuki.
We were concerned maybe Kurt had hurt his hand his last at bat. Apparently that was not the case. Picked up his 2nd hit of the day.
So now Alfaro and Neris talk it over as Rio Ruiz will dig in with an 0 for 3 afternoon. 2 flyouts to center, and he struck out.
Young hitter at the plate. Be patient. Get a good pitch to hit. You get behind in the count, then you got to go into defensive posture. But first 2 strikes, make sure you get something you can put a good swing on. Like that.
Well, like I said, you gotta look for that pitch.
Yeah.
He's gonna throw you a splitter. If he throws you a fastball, he's either going to be ahead in the count or it's going to be a show pitch. You got a hanging breaking ball last night. You hit for a home run. See if you can get a hanging splitty.
Nothing in 1 for Rio. 1st and 2nd are the runners. Freeman and Johnson. Swing and a miss. Now the 0-2 from the Phillies righty. And Rio is down on strikes. 2 on, 2 out. I can't imagine how hard that pitch is to hit, not only because Neris has a good split finger, but 40 years ago that was the pitch. Guys don't see that often in this era of Major League Baseball.
No, they don't. And even, I think sometimes too, though, it works to a hitter's disadvantage, at least in some of the conversations I've had with guys, that when you're looking for a pitch and you know you're going to get a pitch and you get it, you're so much more inclined to swing at it because you've guessed right and you see it, that then you kind of forget to take care of the last piece of the puzzle, which is make sure it's a pitch you can hit.
Yeah.
And when you get over aggressive like that and it's down and out of the strike zone, you end up getting yourself out swinging at it, and that's kind of what they've been doing.
Well, the Phillies are not out of danger yet.
Yeah, you're so proud.
Yeah, oh yeah, got right. Guessed right. Here we go.
Right. Got it.
But having said all of that, it's a tough pitch to hit.
Nothing in 1 for Matt Adams, and now nothing in 2.
I mean, he could He can stand on the mound right now and tell him it's coming. He knows it. And if he throws it the way he wants to, they're not going to hit it. If he makes a mistake, different story.
So Neris ready. Here it is. He just missed the corner. That was close. Braves are hoping to avoid their 10th shutout this year. They're 6-9 in shutout games. Phillies trying to throw their 6th. And here it is. Swing and a miss, and that's your ball game. The Phillies avoid a sweep, and the final home game of 2017 is a 2-0 Philadelphia shutout, spoiling a beautifully pitched game by Luis Gohara, the Braves starter. We will recap game 81 at SunTrust Park this year right after the break.